It's finally the day you get to see how we create this eye look. You've seen it already in a couple videos because I filmed it end of November and then I filmed on that day a couple more videos. So let's create this frosted ice queen look in this video, or as I like to call it, a casual office look. Okay, for the look, I will be using the Odin's Eye Christmas Eve palette. You can use any other palette that has somewhat of blues and grays and silvers. You can use your single shadows, it just does not matter. But since, spoiler alert, this is my favorite winter palette, please keep in mind, I still, as I'm filming this, do not own the Cosmic Brushes Winter Wonderland because I feel like that's going to be a hard competition for that. For now, this is my favorite winter palette, so of course I want to use that. And I will also be incorporating a liquid eyeshadow. This is by the Beauty Bay brand, and this is the Surreal shadow that came out with their latest collection. And this looks like a plain white, but believe me, this is like freshly fallen snow. So let's do it. I'm starting with the shade Ice Crystal, which is a very nice, like pure gray. And I apply this with a rather fluffy brush in the crease, or like transition area, up to the brows. Don't be shy, be wild, build it up, make it intense, make it less intense. This look is definitely more about creativity and not so much about technique. And I know I hate saying this, but office appropriate makeup. For me, there is no office appropriate makeup. Everything that you feel well in is appropriate. With a smaller blending brush, I'm going into the shade Nowhere, which is a still grayish vibed purple kind of. And I apply this throughout the crease for the depth. I'm going now into the shade Night Sky, which is this really pretty dark blue. And I take a rather small blending brush and I apply this on this outer third area. And I basically just try to fill in this part. I know I said it 1,000 times, but when you do eyes before the face, you can be as messy as you want because you will clean it up later. I'm now going into the shade Christmas Eve, which is more of a true blue. And I start blending this on the inner crease part. And then I flick it through the center basically. And I'm tapping back into the Nowhere shade now. And I use this to blend out any harsh line. Usually with this palette I have to grab the shade Gorgeous, but we are not doing this today. I am tapping into the Blue Eyes shade first. And I'm using Blue Eyes basically on this outer part and on the inner part. As if you were about to create a halo eye, I leave the center bare. Doesn't have to be too precise. Don't worry about my fallout. We are going to flick it off. Or I, not you. Please don't flick things off my face. You're not here. You can't do that. I'm now tapping into the shade Snowflake. I just flip my brush so it's easier to mix in. And I use that shade to fill in this center. I think I haven't used this shade before because it's a kind of intimidating silver, let's be honest. Who is using plain silvers today? Like nobody. I'm taking the brush that I used the Night Sky shade with, and without any additional pigment, I just blend over the edges, just a tiny bit to diffuse the shimmer more. But this little line is completely fine because it, for my eye shape, disappears in the crease. Okay, so for the lower lash line, I'm tapping into Christmas Eve again. And I press that into the lower lash line and bring this all around the eye area here. And don't forget to connect it with your upper lid. I'm now tapping into Nightfall with a fluffy but still kind of stiff blending brush. And I use this to blend out the dark blue. And for even more of a blend, I'm going back into Ice Crystal with a pencil brush and I blend that on top. I want to line my little waterline with the Nabla Cupid's Arrow in the shade Powder Blue. This is just a really intense, nice baby blue color. So I decided to not do gems, but we have to do some inner corner highlight, and that's where I'm using now the Beauty Bay shadow. The shade Surreal it is, and it's so freaking pretty. Like, you cannot imagine how good this is. So I have the tiniest bit here on my brush, and now I just apply this on the inner corner, bit into the lower lash line, and as per usual, like a graphic liner style into the crease. You can leave it like that or top it off with some other shimmer eyeshadow. Okay, the look is now already done. We need to do some brow bone highlight and mascara. I'm using the Beauty Bay liquid eyeshadow again as brow bone highlight, and I apply this underneath my brow as brow bone highlight. Very obvious, I know. For mascara, it will be really wild because we're using a white mascara. Upper and lower lashes. By the way, the mascara that I use for this is the Glisten Cosmetics Spectra Lash in the shade, well, obviously white. I don't know how much of a difference that is going to make, but I'm also using the Glitter Top Coat Mascara from Rabanne. To be honest, you basically just see this in a low light situation, but I try to tell myself that it's visible enough for me. And I also need an excuse to just use this since I bought it. So for lips, I will be using the Lisa Eldridge Velvet Lipstick in the shade Duchess. And I only apply this like this on the inner part. Blend it out a bit so that you have this blurred or like kind of bitten lip look, but bitten inside. You know what I mean. I mean, you see what I do. I then went over everything with the Givenchy Le Rouge Interdit Balm in the shade 10. And to top it off, I'm using the Isamaya Lip Lock in the shade Metal. And this is now the finished look. To be honest, I love it. Oh my god. I never wore white mascara all around, but it is a vibe. Is it an everyday vibe? Definitely not, but I just love this frosted iced look, as if I had like wet lashes and went outside and now they were frozen and icy, and it is definitely more of a fun artsy look. So if you want to recreate it, please do it. Let me know, tag me over on Instagram. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to check out the info box below, and please don't forget to subscribe because we're in the middle of Ellamas. That means you have some more videos to come. So thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.